Hey guys, welcome to the charity build for Make-A-Wish Foundation. So, just wanted to go through the boring part of the build, polishing the steel. So, these are a few parts here that I've polished up. I'm just going to quickly show you how I do. Just for this sort of stuff, when I polish the wheels up, I might quickly touch on it now, but I'll show you how I do that. But springs and stuff like that, like you've got all the springs come with the bike, there's nothing wrong with them, but they don't look great. So, you know, this is your typical spring. It's come off an old bike, it's rusty, looks a bit cruddy. You're doing a new build, you're painting everything, you're polishing everything. You know, you don't really want to put an old spring back on. So this is off the same bike, off one side of the stand, and this is the same bike, the other side of the stand. So this is one that I've polished up. So it's a basic process. It just makes it look not new, but clean and right. It's almost new, you know, compared to that one. So I'll show you how I do that. If I can polish something up, instead of painting it, I will, because it's not going to chip, it's not going to scratch, it's not going to get damaged as you go along. So that's the center stand spring holder that sort of swings around with the center stand. They're the nuts. Again, I've given them the same sort of treatment, and they look brand new, but they're old, dirty old, rusty things. And that's the top nut for the triple clamps, and that's them. So what I have done here is I've painted this section. I couldn't polish that up. I think it looks a little bit better painted, that section, but these have been polished up. So you can see that the bolts, I couldn't polish, with the numbers on the top of them, it's hard to polish them up to make them look right. But if you can see there, I've painted them in a matte sort of black. It's actually pot belly black for painting cast iron stoves and stuff like that. It's really hard wearing, heat resistant, which doesn't matter here, but it's hard wearing, strong stuff. So and I just think it looks a bit better than it makes it look a bit more, you know, as it came out of the factory, rather than just something that's been hit with a spray can. So I'll show you how to do that. So this is one of the springs. So trusty drill. I've got a few different heads that I use. So I've got one of here, it's just like a Scotch Brite pad on that. Got the wire wheel. All of these you can get from your local hardware store. And I've got this one that comes with a softer pad as well. It's just a metal polishing kit that I bought from Bunnings. It works alright, it's not too bad. I don't think I use it for what it's intended to be used for, but from what I use it, what I'm doing, it works well. So that one's also good. For the springs, I'll use this. So I won't do it all because we'll be here all night. It's quite late already. So that's the spring. Just be careful of your hands and make sure you're wearing glasses so that you're not going to get it in your eye. And hold that. You can see the stuff coming off. As I say, I won't do it all, but I'll do a section so you can see. So you can see the difference already. That's the first step of it. I'll probably go over that a little bit more just there. I get it all back to that, and then I'll go over it again. I'll change it out for this one, this polishing one. If I can without sticking the wires in my fingers. And then I hit that with this one just like. That's about it. That's just a quick go over. Again, like the painting, the more time you spend on this stuff, the better it will look. You can see that. That's come up pretty quick. So you got all these springs. You don't need to go buy new ones if they're working and they're good working order. You can just polish them up. They're not painted with paint, so they're not gonna scratch up, and especially springs moving up and down, the paint's gonna fall off them pretty quick, and you'll be back to where you were. So that's my little tip for how I make these things look good. Let's just quickly, 5 minutes. So I also use them to clean parts up that I need to paint, so I'll go over them with that just to tidy them up. I'll just drop this off, and I'm letting you in on all my secrets tonight. This is your best friend Brasso and a bit of steel wool. So with the wheels, I've brought some wheels back from a lot further than I thought I would. This is one of our wheels off the donor bike. So probably should put it right on the shiny spot. I did this the other day. This is just a quick go. So I don't know if I can get it. See this section through here. It's looking pretty much new, and that's how it was on the other side. So with this one, you have to be careful that you don't go too far with the brass. So if you rub too far, you will take the chrome off, you will dull the chrome off. So you want to remove what you can. Put a bit of this stuff in there on the steel wool. Basically go through. There's a big rusty bit here. I'll see if I can. You can see this rusty cruddy bit here. So I'm not using any machine polish or anything for this one. Now, this is quite bad because it's got some, I don't know, you can see it, larger bits of rust in there. They will come off. Sometimes they leave a small pitting behind, but once you've done this, they come up great. You just don't want to go too far, like I mentioned just before. So with this, I'll just go get something to scrape that. Okay, so what I did was I got basically just a big screwdriver, and I just took off the crusty bits. I didn't jam it in too tight. I didn't want to scratch the rim, obviously, but I just got the flaky bits off. And then once I did that, I could come back with a steel wool and get into it. So all that is on this section is Brasso and a bit of steel wool. You can do all your forks as well. Your spokes as well. They come up quite well. Like, this takes a while. It's a long job, but I think the benefits, it's a lot cheaper than buying a whole new wheel. And as long as there's no rust inside the rim, on the rim tape, then the wheel's fine. Just grab this rag here. So this is the bit that we've been polishing. You can see it before we started. And that's just a bit of brass on steel wool, and you can see that. Pretty shiny. So that was probably one of the worst sections on the wheel, just so I could show you the difference. There's some still slight pitting. I'll probably do that again a couple of times again, not going too far with the steel wool so I don't dull it off. But I'll just hit the bigger flakes, have another quick light go at it, wipe it back, just see where I am. Eventually the whole wheel is going to be nice and shiny like that, and it'll look like a brand new wheel. Alright, thanks for watching. There's a few little tips. Hope that helps someone else that's doing a build, or even if look at your bike and it's looking a bit dirty and a few rusty springs and bits and pieces, you want to clean it up, might help you out. But yeah, I've got to do all this stuff to this build to get it up to scratch, and I want everything to be right, so polishing springs is what I have to do. That's what I do. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya.